Hello and may the 4th be with you and happy Star Wars Day. And today I thought I'd do a little bit of a video playing some of the classic Star Wars games that I played when I was growing up. We're going to start that off with Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which I believe is a classic. So let's jump in to a new tournament. I created a profile for myself. Let's do this. Look at the graphics. Superb quality, aren't they? So I think we're going to play a few games in this video just because there's a few like classics which I played back in the day and I just felt like playing again. And we'll have a little talk about the Star Wars stuff that's out and coming out and stuff as well during. So the player we're going to have to be is Anakin Skywalker, right? It's the go-to, although it's not keeping my mouse in the screen, so that's going to be a difficult one. So let's do the Tatooine race, shall we? Okay, must place 4th or better to progress. Let's start the race. I think this is supposed to be with a joypad or something, so it's not great with keyboard, but we'll try our best. And look at the graphics, man. How small the video is quite hilarious as well.
Our glorious host, Jabba the Hutt, has moved into the arena.
I thought that was supposed to be Jabba the Hutt's voice for a second there. Okay, I've got to remember the controls now. It's so loud. 2, 1, go. Okay. We've found forward, that's a good start, and we know how to turn, and, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness! No! Okay, our pods blow up quite easily, so we have to be careful of that. But yeah, Star Wars Day. I will definitely be watching Star Wars on May the 4th, which is why I'm recording these early, so I can get them done and not have to worry about doing them on the day or anything. And I probably will watch the prequels, because I remember when the prequels first came out, there was so much hate for them, and then over the years it just seems to have got more and more like love for them. Oh, do you see that? Superb. And I think Phantom Menace is a bit of a classic now, to be fair. I quite like Phantom Menace. I could watch that again and again. I don't think they're as good as the original trilogy, because I do love the original trilogy. But I just think that they are a lot better than what we thought they were to begin with, you know? I just... there's obviously missteps in them, like Jar Jar Binks was an odd choice and it didn't go down too well. And the writing in Episode 2 leaves a lot to be desired. But overall, I just think that if I think of a Star Wars that I want to watch, it will be Phantom Menace or Revenge of the Sith, I think it's called that. Episode 3. Because those two I enjoy watching the most. I will enjoy watching the original trilogy, but I will automatically go to... oh my goodness, I'm jumping all over the place. To, what's it called? I'll automatically go to the prequels, because I think, I was in my early teens when the first one came out. I think I was like 11 or 12. So I wasn't even in my early teens. What am I talking about? I was 11 or 12. And I think Star Wars is essentially for kids. Like, adults love it, and it can be for adults as well, but in its core, the most love you have for Star Wars is when you watched it when you were a kid. And I'm a bit too old for the originals to be, for them to be like my childhood memories. So the prequels are that, and I think that the nostalgia adds a lot to it for me. I know some people not, and I do find that I've grown to like the the prequels more since the sequel trilogy, which I think we can all agree wasn't as good as it could have been. My favourite one out of the sequel trilogy is Last Jedi. I enjoyed Last Jedi a lot more because they didn't rely on nostalgia. They tried to do something a bit different. Well, they did still rely on nostalgia in places. We won, by the way. Smashed it. But I just think they tried something different with Last Jedi and then went back to the old pattern with Rise of Skywalker, and it just wasn't good, unfortunately. I really didn't enjoy it. And now the new Star Wars universe is Mando, it's Book of Boba Fett, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is coming out this month. I'm really enjoying this new stuff, so I'm excited for where it's going. But yeah, there was a definite dip in quality in between the prequels and now. There was I just didn't enjoy Star Wars as much, and I was a bit worried that I was like, am I just getting old? Where it's like these new Star Wars movies just aren't interesting me. Maybe I was only interested in the other ones because I was younger, and the original trilogy because I was really young when I got introduced to them and started watching them. But then this new one came out and I was like, oh no, I love this sort of Star Wars. This Star Wars hits right, but old Star, in between that sequel Star Wars just didn't and it's a shame because the characters that they were trying to build were quite cool, but they just left them out to dry, really. They didn't do much with them. They had Rey, Finn, Poe, all characters that they could have really built on, and then they had a load of side characters which they could have built on as well, but they brought back Luke Skywalker, they brought back Leia, they brought back... we need to move on from the Skywalker stuff now. I just think we even in Mando and the Book of Boba Fett, slight spoilers here, but Luke Skywalker shows up. We need to stop having Luke Skywalker show up and stuff and move on to a new story. We're done with that story. We've done 9 movies that have included Luke Skywalker in some way, or a Skywalker in some way. We're done with that. We want to have... There's such a massive Star Wars universe. We want to have new Star Wars. And I was listening to... We're going to skip past it. I've been also very slow driving around there, but we absolutely smashed that. This game's such a classic. So yeah, I used to play this game all the time, man. I loved it. To be fair though, I only really ever did the Tatooine race, and then the rest I was kind of I'm done. I'll just play the Tatooine race again. But I think we're going to finish up with this game, and we're going to start playing another one, and then we'll keep talking about Star Wars over that one. So we'll be back in a second with a new game. Okay, so the second game we're going to be playing is Star Wars Republic Commando, bit of a classic. So another prequel-based one. The game's definitely peaked at prequels, I think. There's some more recent, Fallen Order was pretty good, but there were some really good games that came out prequel time. So we're going to jump in to a new game. We're just going to play a bit of the first level. The mouse is super sensitive.
This is your first day.
So I need to be really
Your
careful.
designation will be RP-01/138.
It's been ages since I played this game as well.
Great things from you.
This deserves a remaster or a new build of this.
You have
Some
been
sort.
born into dangerous times. A sharp mind can be the key to survival.
I like this little start of
As often as
the
not,
clone learning.
it will be your inherent physical traits that win the day. And in this regard, you will be superior to your more common brethren. For you are a commando, an elite unit, something truly special. Your weapons, your armor, and most importantly, your brothers. The Ifer of our world hunt in pods to bring down much larger prey. So too shall you join with 3 brothers and become fierce hunters for the Republic. Now, join your pod and embrace your destiny as their leader. Join Delta Squad.
There we are, Delta Squad.
Delta 4-0, your foundation. A pure and uncomplicated soldier. 6-2, the heart and soul of your team. And 07, the fiercest hunter of all your brothers. You are each a piece of a whole person. And the Republic will call you to defend and give your lives if need be.
I know this is like old and the graphics aren't great, but tell me this isn't an epic start up to a game, right? It's so cool.
Get those troopers into the gunship.
Can we
Ready for
move?
liftoff. New gunship. Okay, Group B, let's move it. Let's go. Push those cannons to the stern. Load the ammo and the ordnance. Let's go. Let's go.
Sir, we're gonna split up for the drop, but we'll meet you at the RV on Geonosis. See you planetside, sir.
See you soon, boys. Anyway, what I was talking about before we switched games is I think that we need to they respect the Skywalker story has finished. Move on to something a bit different. So like either go really far back in time or really far forwards in time, so that none of the characters that we tend to just focus on for so long, like they can't help themselves but tie stuff in. Like every time there's a new Star Wars thing, something is tied in with an old character to try and get the nostalgia there, and I just think that holds back the story sometimes. We could easily have a story. Wow, it's loud. That is a horrible sound. But there was a book series which I got recently on Audible, so I like a good audiobook. I'm super cool, I know. And that was The High Republic, and I think that would make an awesome new area to look into for a series. But I just don't think they're going to do it at the moment because they bring so much money in using the old known characters. So yeah, that's my piece on that.
Find Sun Fac and eliminate him. I will be issuing further orders as you go. Good luck, Commando.
The next thing that I want to talk about is the new series that they're bringing out. Like Mandalorian, I think we can all agree is superb. First and second season were really good. Oh my goodness. And Book of Boba Fett was a kind of a mixed bag. It wasn't amazing, but I quite enjoyed it. There was enough good points for me.
Absolutely vital that Sun Fac not escape.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where we're going now.
Delta Lead, are you alright? You just took an anti-infantry round. Your vitals don't look very good. Heal yourself with Bacta before you go any further. There's a medical station in your vicinity.
I've got to heal myself with Bacta. Use the... Oh my goodness, look how like the mouse is all over the place. Continue without hints. We should be able to figure it out, right? Oh no, he says that, and now I don't know. There we go. Yeah, so I enjoyed Boba Fett, but I understand why people didn't enjoy it. There was definitely some areas where they got too hung up on, like, again, like it's basically they were trying to get the Mandalorian, like, sort of, weren't they? And I think they held back the story of Boba Fett. Because Boba Fett is a great character. Like, a lot of people who grew up watching the original trilogy, the kind of mystery around Boba Fett was really the thing that they loved about it. And he became a character that everyone really enjoyed and wanted to see more of, which is why there were so many, like, graphic novels and stuff made just about him, and he had very little information about him to begin with in the movies, but they built on him like in the extended universe, the EU. But yeah, I think they are trying to kill off Boba Fett in a way. It definitely feels like the Boba Fett story, they're trying to like tie it up and finish it off so that they can make their own stories, which is good, but don't ruin something that people loved in order to do that. You didn't need to make a Boba Fett series to make a new Mandalorian series and things like that. And it in the series there's also tied into Ahsoka, because Ahsoka showed up and stuff. And it's just like, we didn't need that. I think you've probably got enough marketing of people who love Star Wars that you don't need to use another character's series as like a vehicle to advertise stuff. And I think that's kind of where they went wrong with Boba Fett, unfortunately. That's just my opinion. I did like some of the scenes when Boba Fett actually showed up, and I think the episode with Mandalorian in was really good. But it was a Mandalorian episode. It wasn't. It wasn't a Boba Fett episode, and I just felt like it was very out of place. It means that the next Mando series is going to be, or season is going to be really good, hopefully. But yeah, that leads on to the next one, the Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm worried that they're going to do the same thing. I'm worried that they're going to make the same mistake with Boba Fett, that they're going to turn Obi-Wan into... throw a grenade. There you go. They're going to turn Obi-Wan into a character that they're trying to tie a bow into his story and then use it to... I don't know, crouch. See, there you go. And then use it to basically promote other series that they're working on or something like that. I don't know. It just feels like that's how Disney are doing things at the moment. It just seems a bit short-sighted because there's a lot of fans who, like, there's a lot of young fans who will be like wanting that, but there's a lot of older fans who want to see the people that they grew up watching doing their thing, not doing the thing to promote some other character.
I'm linking up to your HUD, boss.
If that makes sense. I think that's making sense. I don't know though. But also, like, I don't watch the Clone. I haven't watched the Clone Wars. I haven't watched Rebels either. And a lot of stuff ties into that. From what I can tell, the main bad guy is going to be.
I'd like some explosives here, Delta.
Is going to be the Inquisitor, who is in either Rebels or Clone Wars. I'm not sure which one. But yeah, basically, if you haven't seen that, you're already behind on who these people are. And unfortunately, I just don't like the Clone Wars and that. I tried watching it. I really did try, and it just wasn't for me. How do you blow up? That's how you blow up. Boom. So yeah, I just think that the Clone Wars is kind of taking a front step in what it used to be the EU. It used to be the EU that had all of the like the lore behind Star Wars in, and that's what would be like guiding what would be in Star Wars. But now it's Clone Wars and Rebels and kind of the Dave Filoni sort of Star Wars side that's guiding what's in new Star Wars stuff. And I think that that's fine, but there's a lot of people who don't enjoy the Clone Wars. So when you start bringing in people like they did with, they're doing with Kenobi and what they did with Book of Boba Fett, you kind of I can't even speak now, alienate part of your audience, and it just feels a little bit like you're sacrificing that audience by taking away characters which they loved and making them not as good to make them watch characters which they have no connection to. So I don't know, it's just an interesting move. I'm not sure. I'm really excited for Kenobi. I hope they don't mess Kenobi up as much as they messed up
Deltas, give me an explosive solution.
Book of Boba Fett, because a lot of people disliked Book of Boba Fett. There's a lot of people who liked it, but I think that they've got the potential to mess it up and kind of make something that people don't really want, which would be a shame. And then we've got a load of other series coming out. Ahsoka, I think, would be quite fun, but again, very heavily on the Clone Wars side. And then we've got Andor, which I don't understand why they're making a series about a guy who has seen his death for. I think they do that a lot. They have a character which you know is going to die, and you know when is going to die, and then they try and make so much more content around them because, like, that character was all of a sudden popular, and it's just like, well, I know where it's ending, why am I brought in to watch more about them? That's how I feel personally anyway. I mean, sometimes hearing the
Let's crack that
kind of
Delta.
backstory of characters is good, but not a whole series of it. It's not for me, really. But then I realise as I'm saying that, that's what they did with Boba Fett.
Slice complete, sir.
Security.
No, because we don't know when he died. We know, so no, ignore that. We don't know when he died because he didn't die in the Sarlacc, did he? That's the whole point of the story. So, yeah, I just, I'm a little bit wary with. I'm really enjoying the series at the moment. I'm wary where it's going, and I really don't like the digital faces that they're using. I think that's a whole other thing. But the use of digitizing, like with that, so with the book of Boba Fett and the digital faces that they used, I mean, that was not Mark Hamill, and they also used snippets of his voice in the original to create his dialogue, apparently. This is what I read. That means that they're making a whole character out of just a computer. And I just think that's clever, but that's not what I watch TV and movies for. I watch TV and movies, not just Star Wars, to see an acting performance, not a computer replicating someone fairly well. Because it wasn't perfect, but I just think it's a strange way to go. And again, it leads back to not being able to let go of the original trilogy and the Skywalker sort of story. Is we have this need to still include people who either aren't here or are older, so don't look the same. And then you're like, okay, so what about making a new character? And then we have like Finn and Rey and that, and they're gone, aren't they? Let's basically, they're not being used anymore. I can't see anything about them in any future Star Wars releases. So we're just relying on like 50-year-old characters when we've got the ability to write new characters and have some really enjoyable content and shows about people who are brand new and are more trying to have more levels than the existing one, because there's a lot more that we can say nowadays than we could back then. If that makes sense, with like media that we do. And I just think that hanging on to older characters is just a dangerous, and especially the older characters when we're not even using using them, we're using their likeness. It just, what's the point? Give other actors a chance. Give a new generation a chance to be the characters. That's my opinion anyway of Star Wars. That's my little
getting a little dark here.
Delta Squad, switch to visor mode.
How do you switch to visor mode?
Reloading.
I don't know. Oh, it just says it there. There you go. Nice, we've got visor mode on. And I think that's probably a good place to finish this playthrough of this game as well. We'll move on to another game in a second, and then we'll discuss more about Star Wars stuff. So, see you in a second. Okay, we're back with probably the last game of this video, and the last one I wanted to play is one which I played so much as a little kid. It was I think the first Star Wars game I played, Mysteries of the Sith, which is a game which, if you haven't played it, is amazing, even though the graphics are terrible. It's all about Kyle Katarn, and oh man, he's a classic character in Star Wars games. So if we just start a new game, and Mara Jade is his. Look at the graphics, superb, aren't they? If ever there was a game that should be remastered, it's this bad boy for sure. but talking about characters, like going past the Skywalker characters, I think Mara Jade might be related to the Skywalkers in some way, but Kyle Katarn isn't, and I think he would be a great person or character to have as a showrunner. Sort of like, you have a show made of Kyle Katarn, who is kind of this mix between Han Solo and Luke Skywalker in a way. He's kind of a Jedi, but he's also kind of a bit of a rogue, and he's a bit of a not bounty hunter, like a bit of a smuggler sort of guy.
It's not something you typically
And I just think that he would be a great... I mean, I know very little about the character. I probably absolutely butchered that explanation of him. But I know him from the games I've played. And I think he would be an awesome character to have, like, the origins of, and then have him maybe leading through the story. So yeah, I think that he's just my childhood as a character. So how do you... There we go. Here we are. Oh, it's inverted and everything. Repeat. Imperial troops have entered the base. Like, I've got so much memories around that sentence there. And it's got like auto aiming and everything because it's like really early PC gaming. There's some Imperial troops have entered the base and are trying to take the area. And then you can look. There's a couple of guys down there. If we go like this. Oh look, they're shooting at me. Oh, down goes an A-wing. Boom. Took them out. Awesome, isn't it? And then they're asking me to close the doors. But yeah, although I'm like having a little moan about the like where we're going with Star Wars. It's not that I don't enjoy it, because I watch all of the Star Wars stuff and I think it's awesome. Also play all of the new Star Wars stuff and think it's awesome as well. I just think that they can get a little bit lazy because of the they know that they've got people. They know that people will come and watch Star Wars stuff, whatever, you know? And that sometimes means that we don't always get the best content from them. And I just think sometimes it's alright to say what we don't enjoy about the Star Wars content and the directions it's going, as long as it's not like going personally against an actor or something like that, where it's like we don't like them because that's just a nothing sort of argument. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be actors you don't like, but they might be amazing in a role, and some actors' job is to make you not like them. Do you know what I mean? So they do an amazing job with that sometimes. But yeah, I think to have a little moan about what you don't like about Star Wars can open up what you do like about it more, if that makes sense. So yeah, I will be watching. I can't remember if you can get through here yet. No. I'll be watching some of the older Star Wars for sure. I might even rewatch like first season of Mando as well on Star Wars Day for sure. I think I'll be watching the trying to remember how to do this. Force jump and then force to use. Oh, I use speed by accident. Ow. I'll be watching Phantom Menace, because that's, I think, probably my personal favourite out of all of them. Ow. Need to somehow jump up here on it. Ah, there's a bomb on me. Well, that didn't go well, did it? Yeah, it's very hard to play this game. But yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think you'll be playing. Or you might be playing something Star Wars. You know what? I might be playing something Star Wars. I might grab a little bit of a Battlefront 2, because with the updates, I think Battlefront 2 is actually a fairly decent game now. And it's a bit of a shame that it took so long for it to be such a good game. But now it's quite enjoyable. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments you'll be watching or playing, if anything, for Star Wars Day. And yeah, let me know what you think about what I've been saying. If you agree, if you disagree, you know what? I might not be right. I'm probably not right about half the things I'm saying. But yeah, I think that's the good thing about Star Wars is you can have like those sort of discussions and that, and it's always fun. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and enjoy your Star Wars day. May the 4th be with you, and I'll see you when I see you.